Gunther. Coach, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. We're still playing, so life is good. When you're
Absolutely. I tell you what, I've been keeping up with you guys all year long. You guys are just an amazing group of boys, and I thought this would be a great time to be like, hey, they're in the district championship. We got to get him on now and talk to him. How's this year been? You guys only lost 2 games. You guys just, everything's clicking right now. So, what's that been like?
so it's been one of the greatest years of my coaching career. To play 22 games and win 20 of them, and to be in both of those games that we lost, it's really been a phenomenal year. We've got a great group of young men. We've got some senior leadership. We've got some juniors that are phenomenal. We got a sophomore that's really good, and we got a strong bench. So, it's probably the first year as a coach where I felt like that we kind of cover all the bases. If you look at our scores the last 5 to 7 games, we're getting 4 guys in double figures. We got a great leader in Terrence Pankey. We got a big with Jaden Payne. We got a great shooter with Vinny Filato.
Yeah.
Gino Lucini, long, 6'3", athletic. And then Deshaun Will at the point. And then we got some great guys like Nick Bako, Will Burney coming off the bench. We're just very fortunate to be in the position we are. The one thing I'll tell you this, I don't take it for granted. This is my 20th year there. We've been in a lot of district games. We've won quite a few, but we haven't been in any in the last 6 years. So glad to be back.
I know last year you guys lost to Howland. I believe that was a tough one. To come back this year stronger than ever, and with those guys you just mentioned, unbelievable players. I've been keeping an eye on them all year long. It's just a huge boost, and like going into these games, you guys seem really energized. I mean, with the 2 playoff wins you got, the 87-53 win, just last night against Edgewood, like you guys are firepower ready. Like you guys are, like, do you feel like you're right there? Like, is there anything else to accomplish, or do you really feel like team you got is the team you got?
The crazy thing is, I still don't think we played our best game, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, because I'll be honest with you. Last game, I thought defensively, we could have been a lot better. Offensively, we're clicking, but I'll be honest with you. I think we're about 85% of what we could be. So I'm hoping it all comes together tomorrow night when we play Gilmore. I hope our defensive effort is it's at its best it's been all year. Fortunately for us, we've seen a little bit of everything with our schedule. We've seen athleticism, we've seen size, and I thought the 2 games we lost were really important. I know everybody wants to win every game, but sometimes you learn more when you lose. And those 2 games were major, and some things we needed to work on when we lost those games.
Yes, I remember the Canfield game. I watched a little bit of that, and I also had John Cullen on the show about a week ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just a huge game. You guys were in the game like the whole way, but sometimes it stinks to lose, but sometimes I feel like a team to lose a 1 or 2 games in a big game, it really brings things down to earth a little bit. Like, hey, we can't go into every game expecting that we're gonna win. So we gotta take things more seriously. It's nice to have fun. You guys have been having a lot of fun this year,
right.
But you gotta go into every game saying, hey, we can lose this game, so we don't want to lose. We gotta do our jobs, and you guys have been doing that. There's only been
I agree, and I think the Howland loss last year has put our seniors and our guys in perspective also.
Yeah.
What had happened is we had beat Howland earlier in the year by probably 25 to 30 points, and I think our kids were going in big-headed, thinking they were going to walk on the floor and just win, and that loss still hurt until we're back in the tournament and kind of avenge that loss. We made sure we didn't make that same mistake the other night when we played Edgewood. So, our kids have been, since the summer, have been focused on getting back to the district and winning the district. So, that's what it's all about. So the biggest thing is that Canfield game exposed a lot of things that we needed to work on. The Spire game that we lost was probably one of the biggest, strongest athletic teams that we played, to let us know that we could pretty much play with anybody. And so those 2 losses were key to us. to having success that we're having right now.
Yes, and I mean, if you want to talk about those keys a little bit that you learned from those games and that you've built on since then, if you want to talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah. So the Canfield game, they exposed us that we weren't boxing out. We weren't coming up with 50-50 balls. They kind of out grittied us, out toughed us. For those who were at the game, we're up 15 in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Up 15 and let them climb back in with some turnovers and lazy plays and just not zeroed in, acting like we were going, like you said, like we were going to be able to walk out because we're up 15 and win. And they closed the gap, and tightened the game, and we weren't able to finish. So that from that game on, we've been really locked into doing things the right way, not letting teams out rebound us, not letting
Mm.
teams come up with more 50-50 balls. And it really kind of turned us around from a focus standpoint. The other game that we lost was against Spire. They were 6'11", 6'7", 6'5", 6'3", 6'2" to
Or
start.
they had some big dudes.
Had some big guys and a lot of European guys. So we weren't playing an Ohio high school team. We were playing, I would call, more of a preparatory school. And
Uh-huh.
for us to be able to battle and close that gap within 2 points, it gave our kids a big lift. So even though we didn't win, it gave our kids a sense of, man, if we can play with them, we can play with anybody because they have a lot of D1 and D2 guys, commits and recruits on that team.
Yes, and I've talked to coaches before, and even if you lose, like you gotta look at the game like if it was a good loss or not. And that Spire game definitely was. I mean, playing a team not in your area, not in your division, and you just come in and battle and battle. And like you said, they had some big guys on their team. You said they had some European guys on their
Yeah.
team.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they had some skill. So to go
Oh
in
yeah.
there and just battle and
Right.
battle, and even to lose only just by 2 is just phenomenal. So
Right.
like, I feel like you guys really learned a lot from that game, and you haven't lost since. So going into this Gilmore Academy game, they're 15-10. They're a sneaky team. They pulled off some sneaky wins I was seeing. So
Yeah.
they're there, and they're ready just as you guys are. So what do you guys got to do just to keep that pace above them? What are the keys to go into this
So
game
so
like
the
right
the
off the
15,
tip?
yeah, the 15-10 is a little. You have to
Yeah,
realize, of those 10
yeah,
losses, they lost, 2 guys were out.
yeah.
Their point guard Moulton, who's really good, he was injured in a few of those games. They had some injuries. That's the reason they were losing some of those games. We're
Hmm.
smart enough to realize that. Their point guard Brandon Rose is really good. Moulton's really good. They have some shooters on that team. We were at the Gerard game and scouted them last night. Gerard
So you've
Gerard was
done your
actually
study.
up. Yeah, they were up 7 with about 3 to go, and Gerard did a great job and let us see some things that we feel like we can take advantage of. Um,
Yep.
I think their biggest problem for them is going to be matching up with Jaden Payne. Jaden's been playing extremely well. Jaden's 6'7". Their
Mhm.
biggest guy that's going to be guarding Jaden is 6'3". So
Wow.
we've had mismatches with him the last 2 games. We hope that continues. We hope he continues to just dominate down low, and we've got to get the game going up and down. We hope they're tired. They had to play an overtime game last night. We played on Wednesday night, so we should be a little bit fresher than them. So our game plan is to pay at a pace of 100 miles an hour, get the game going up and down, not let them drive, not them get open threes, pound the ball inside, and just play our style. We've been running
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
playing up and down all year. That's what we want to continue to do.
Literally, when I see you guys play, like, I've watched some documentaries, like, it literally reminds me of the offense, Paul Westhead would run with the Lakers, but, more formally with the Loyola Marymount college
Oh yeah,
basketball team. Just the
right.
documentary is called The Guru of Go, and
Yeah.
that guy would
Oh
just
yeah.
have them run, run, run. I see that with you guys, and I'm like the way they pull out these wins is that they just exhaust people. Like
Right.
you guys are like well balanced, and you're just in shape just to keep up and running that whole game. And I've seen some of the games these guys been running the whole game, and that fourth quarter, like they're
Yep.
still
And the
ready to
other
go.
team's dying at that point. That's what
The
we
other
want.
team, I've seen teams,
That's what
believe
we
me,
want.
like I've seen teams like this before, like the Badger Braves girls team. They would run. I don't know if you kept an eye on them, but
Oh
they
yeah.
would run,
Oh yeah.
run, and run. I hope you did. Lavelle Turnage is an Ursuline
Oh
guy,
yeah,
so you got to know
yeah.
him.
It's one of my guys, one of my
Yep.
disciples. So yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, you just have them run, run, and run, and by that fourth quarter, the other teams are bent over,
And
exhausted,
that's what
and
we
they're
want.
just like boom, boom, boom. So,
Yep. Yep.
I love teams like that that just can just run and go 100% the whole way, and other team, it really has an effect on the other team.
Right.
The
Right.
number one thing is like you can have all the talented players in the world, they can shoot, they can play defense, but how long can they do it?
Right.
The number one thing is, are they in shape? And you guys, like 100% are in shape. And you were mentioning a little bit earlier, you're 85% of what you want to be. What do you guys got to do to get that extra 15% to get
Uh,
100 in your view, in your eyes?
Here's the deal. We haven't had so our main guy everybody knows is Terrence Pankey, and
Yeah.
he's just getting back to being a healthy 100% player. Probably 3 weeks ago, he's probably about 75, 80%, and
Mm-hmm.
he's finally the last couple games getting his feel back, getting his injury squared away. So if we can get him to play at a high level. The other night we had 4 guys in double figures. I feel like there's nights where we could have 6 guys in double figures. We could score that well. Our kids play really unselfish. They play together. So, once we understand that locking in defensively and rebounding is the most important thing, that's the other 15%. When we can just totally take teams out of what they do well and get the game going up and down, then I feel like we can dominate.
Yes, and I mean, you guys have been doing that a lot, and if you keep doing that, I mean, you're gonna get to your goal, and I want to get into that. Like, obviously, I mean, the main goal is to get the districts and win districts, but like after that, where do you see you guys going? Like, is there a specific goal, or is there a
There's,
ceiling
there's,
for you
there,
guys, or is the ceiling wide open?
the ceiling's open for us. We've our chant has been all year state champs. We don't want anything any less. And we feel like if we can win the district on Saturday, we can make a significant run.
Yep.
The one thing I've been you in years past, we've always said, win the district. This year, I told our team to heck with it. I told our staff to heck with it. I said we're setting our goals high. That's
Yeah.
and that's what we're going to do. We're going to set our goals high. And that's what we're doing. We're expecting nothing less. We want to be state champs, and that's what we out of every huddle, out of every practice. That's how we practice. That's how we play. That's how we want to perform. And anything less than that, it's probably not going to be good enough for our team.
Yeah, and the way you guys play, like you guys are hungry for that state championship. Now going in, now the first time you said that to your team, when did you say it? Like beginning of the season, and what was their reaction? Like were they
No, we said
excited
it.
or were
We
they?
said it right. We said it right in the summer. As soon as we started our summer program, we were like, "Hey guys, this is what it's about. We're trying to play for a state title this year." We knew we had 90% of our players back. We knew we had 90% of the talent back.
Mhm.
So we set our expectations high, and we had a great summer. We had a great fall. We're having a great season,
Yeah.
and we've seen everybody that we think is going to be in the regional. We feel like we can play with any of those guys. We feel like we're just as good. We just got to make sure we take care of business tomorrow. We take care of business tomorrow. My expectations go high again.
Yep. And these guys, like, if I was on your team, like this is just me, I'd be terrified. Like, oh, like this is what he wants us to do. Like
Yep.
I'd accept it and take it on, but I mean, it would scare the heck out of me. Like, oh God, like here we go, I guess. Uh what was your players' reaction to that? Were they
They're all on board with me.
sweet, sweet?
They get it. They all got that same focus, that same frame of mind. We've watched ourselves. We've watched how we practice. We watch how we
Uh-huh.
play, and our kids are in that same mindset. And like I said, if things go like we plan tomorrow and we have a great defensive effort and we win, and they believe, but I think tomorrow's win will take their belief to another level.
Sweet, sweet. So I know you talk very highly of Panky and all your guys as well. You named all of them, and they're all amazing. But has there been anybody in specific that's been like, "Hey, like I don't want to play around anymore, and they've just taken a huge step like from last year. Like they took the Howland loss. I know a lot of them took that Howland loss pretty bad.
Right.
But was there like one specific guy that was like, I'm sick of this. Let's go, you know?
There's no question about it. Vinny and Terrence are on that. They were sick about last year's loss. There's no question about it. Here's the thing people don't realize. Howland smacked us. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Payne rolled his ankle in the layup line, so he was non-effective in that game. He's back. Terrence is back. I think the X factor that we talk about is Gino Luceni. It's expected out of Terrence. It's expected out of Vinny. It's expected out of Jaden. Deshaun Will's a sophomore. He's our new guy. But Gino Luceni is the guy who nobody really knows his name, whose plan is behind off right now, who's had 16 the other night. When he plays, because of his length and his ability to score the ball, he takes us to another level. And he's the next guy. Him and Payne together are just going to be unbelievable here in the future.
You guys, I really look at you. You guys got a lot of loud players on your team, like big players. Do you kind of consider him to be kind of one of the quiet players, like come in and sneak off 16 points and just like that?
There's two guys that I don't know how strong people are looking at it on the scouting report. One is Gino Luceni, and the other one who doesn't score a ton of points is Nick Bako. He comes off the bench. He rebounds, he defends, he gets a lot of deflections. He does all the little gritty things that nobody will ever see in the box score that make you win games. And a lot of guys, like when I'm scouting somebody, I'm always looking to see who that guy is that's not in the box score, that's not on the TV, that's not in the newspaper, that's making that team win. And that guy's Nick Bako for us. And I sent him a text this morning about how I feel he can be a difference maker and really, really change the game and help us go to win that district tomorrow.
Yes, and every team has a guy like that. They got to go out there and get their hands dirty. It's not necessarily a scoring rule, but they get out, they rebound, they play defense, they battle the best player. Like they don't on the other team. Like they don't care how big they are. Like play inspired. Like I bet you went out there and just. All right, come on. I don't care where you from, where you're going, what scholarship you have, what teams are looking at you. You're my responsibility today, and I'm gonna go 100% at you. And I love players like that. And not everybody's gonna score. You gotta play defense. You gotta rebound. There's so much more in this game than scoring.
I agree.
So it's awesome to have a guy like that to come out and do that relentlessly and just not care who's going against. Like I love players like that. And Luceni, has he like maybe coached another player on his team to maybe like be that same guy with him? Has there been anybody like that that's been like, hey, I'm gonna take him under my wings, and like they've really bled off onto another player?
Terrence Pankey has kind of let Gino know what he can be and what he is. And Terrence is our guy. Terrence is going to West Liberty on a basketball scholarship. And we watch Luceni in practice. We watch him, and Terrence is like, man, you just got to keep believing in yourself and keep going and keep being that guy and not afraid to be that guy. And he hasn't been afraid, and he's just been phenomenal for us. The other guy, is a football kid that's great for us is Will Burney. I know you guys all know him from the football field. Just a great leader as a senior, great hustle guy. Once again, one of those guys you ain't gonna see in the box score a ton, but just brings it for our team. So, we're so fortunate to have some of these guys that have been in our program for 4 years and totally get it and just bring it every day for us.
Yeah. Well, Coach, a couple more questions for you, and I'll get you on your way. I always ask everybody this, and everybody knows what I'm going to ask. Like, literally, the most important thing about playing this game is having fun. What have you guys done, in practice, off the court, team dinners like that? Any cool techniques that you've used just to, these guys to have fun?
You got to have a team building. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. A couple weeks ago,
Sweet.
I didn't think we played really well. We played decent on a Friday night, not great. kids think I'm gonna come in and just run them through the ground. They know I'm not happy with how we played. I make them get all dressed like we're going to go to practice, and we go to Yankee.
So they're nervous.
They're nervous. And what do? We say, hey, we're going to Yankee Kitchen for breakfast.
Sweet.
You know, those are the kind of things you got to do. You gotta be able to have some fun outside of basketball. You know, those are the things we do. We got a team dinner tonight, no question about it. So it's all about the little things. And I got great parents. I got great guys on my staff to help coordinate things like that. So, you know, we like to throw surprises at them and let them know we appreciate their effort and what they do.
I've been, and when you say Yankee Kitchen, like I've been going there for years. Yeah, I'm a Kinsman guy. I'm from Kinsman, so that's just right in Vienna.
Right.
And I mean, their breakfast is amazing. Like hats off to those guys there. And I know the guy who's cooking there's been there 40 years, so like he takes it pretty good. But I love their breakfast. So I'm sure they really like that. But you know, the team dinners and stuff like that are great. You know, going to other events like YSU games and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of teams do. But just to keep them alive, like just to keep them like off the edge a little bit, you know, just to keep like, hey, you know, like, yeah, we got some serious stuff to take care of, but we don't have to be serious all the time. You know, we got to let loose a little bit, and it opens up their state of mind. I really believe that. And, you know, you guys as a team are very open-minded, and, you know, you talk about your coaching staff. I mean, you have wonderful help there as well. And, you know, has that really taken the weight off your shoulders a little bit?
Listen,
like with your staff?
If you don't have a staff, you don't have a program, because you can't do it all yourself. You know, you got to have guys that are in different roles. Like I'm the hardcore, come to practice. I'm not relaxing on you from the time you walk in the door. And then you got to have guys that can rub the guy's back, pull them over. Why is coach being like this? You've got to have guys that understand offense better than you do. You got to have guys that understand defense. You got to have eyes that can see other things during the process of a game that maybe you're not seeing. So if you don't have a staff, you don't have a program. And we got a phenomenal staff.
Yes, most definitely. Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on here and talking with me. Good luck to you against Gilmore Academy. I'll be keeping an eye on it. And if you go to that state championship, like we're going to probably have to get you on here again to talk with me. But Coach, once again, thanks for coming on here, and good luck to you.
All right. Thank you. Go Irish.
Yep. Go Irish.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one.